Bahamut regenerates more swiftly than I had anticipated. Let us hope that disabling his coil will serve to slow the process. Or are we actually speeding it up? The display seems different, but the controls appear to mimic the mechanism we found in the Lenosian Hulk. It shouldn't pose a problem. Sophie, forgive me. The moment I beheld Nell's transformation, hope wilted in my heart. I did not believe you could stand against the manifestation of Bahamut's power. And you would be correct. I did not stand at all. I died several times. My friends actually took care of it. For all your fabled strength and skill, I felt certain then that I was going to lose you, just as I lost my grandfather. Even he, a man for whom naught seemed impossible, was humbled before Bahamut's might. And yet, look how far we have come. 'Tis incredible the feats of which we are capable, our boundless potential. 'Twas this capacity for greatness, I believe, that grandfather so dearly wished to protect. With all that has occurred, I have come to understand that much at least. It is done. Shall we make our way back to the surface and gather our thoughts? We have seen much that will benefit from Urianger's learned perspective. I like how I just stand there. Grandfather, it is you. Then why? Abandon this quest, Alize. I will not countenance further sabotage of the coils. Sabotage? But we must disable the coils if we are to prevent Bahamut's revival. Your defiance seals your fate. No, you are not who I thought you were. My grandfather would never. Foolish girl. How could the White Raven allow herself to be bested by such sniveling opponents? Listen well. We all exist at the pleasure of one divine will. And the word of Lord Bahamut is absolute. Scurry back to your holes, vermin. You have been granted this one reprieve. But should you be so foolish as to crawl into my lord's domain again, I will crush the life from you myself. That light in grandfather's eyes. He has suffered the same fate as Nail. My grandsire is no more. That was naught but a phantom that profanes his noble memory. This mockery must be expunged. I will not rest till I free grandfather's soul from Bahamut's tyranny. You hear me, Bahamut? Your time is at an end. Eorzea and my family will be avenged. Hello, other person. I guess you're doing the quest right now too, huh? Well, how are you doing today? Did you watch the cutscene? It was pretty intense. I'm gonna go now, but I hope you have a nice day. Um... There it is. I'm gonna go now. Down here. In the exit. Truly, it is wonderful to escape that stifling air and return to northern Thanalan again, it would appear. I must thank you, Sophie. Were it not for you and your bravery, I strongly doubt that I would be standing here now. Ah, but you need not tarry on my account. The danger is past. Pray, go on ahead and appraise Urianger of all that has occurred. I will join you anon. My thoughts are yet unruly, and I would rest here a while. The triumphant hero doth return. Thine eyes speak of the dread task completion. The second coil now lieth dormant. Yet I sense the tidings thou bearest are not altogether glad. Pray tell me, what ill hath cast the shadow which falleth now across thy brow? An old foe and an old friend. So, 'twas but the etherical shadow of Master Louisoix that Lady Alisaie beheld, an unnatural conjuration enthralled to the elder primal. That the fiend should deign to choose him of all men, even in full knowledge of the shade's true nature, I would be hard-pressed to weather such a confrontation. Yet what agonies must the young mistress have endured? Such torment did she ne'er deserve. Mayhap 'twere better if the Lady Alisaie did absent herself from future forays into the coils. I have come too far to surrender to grief, Urianger. My lady, I am resolved to defeat these fiends, and naught shall sway me from my path. Now, let us peer more deeply into the well of our You know it's bad when you stumble over a word like discoveries. Let us peer more deeply into the well of our discoveries. It's because of Urianger, like, he makes everything so obtuse that even easy words become tongue-tiers. As you wish, my lady. By your leave, I would speak first of the coil's late guardian, Nell Van Darnus. Van Darnus was the legatus of the Garelian Empire who strove to bring about Eorzea's final destruction, only to fall even as the sixth sun did set. If thou hast heard tales of the White Raven, then it is he of whom they speak. Yet, I say, for Nell was for certainty no maid. The noble house of Van Darnus, as we discovered all too late, had long safeguarded the wisdom of ancient Allag. 'Twas thus that the legatus came to learn the true nature of Dalamud, and to seek to employ the Red Moon as a weapon against Eorzea. But the Crystal Tower, and the mechanisms required to command the satellite, yet lay hidden beneath the ground, compelling Nell to construct a far less suitable mechanism, and in his first faltering attempts to communicate with Dalamud, he did likely rouse the satellite's slumbering prison. Thenceforth did the White Raven's soul belong to Bahamut. He was fortunate indeed to acquire so powerful a thrall by chance. 'Tis little wonder he was so loath to part with him. Why let a simple thing like death deprive one of so useful a pawn? Though we may accuse him of bungling Van Darnus' resurrection, I dare say Bahamut was as content to have a handmaiden as a manservant. I only hope that the two thralls we encountered were the extent of his flock. Yet I cannot help but dwell on Nell's words, those beloved children of whom he spoke. I assumed at first that he referred to the moon's beastly guardians, but should Bahamut have enslaved other mortals, we must needs remove this source of worship. Otherwise, our efforts to disable the coils shall be for naught. Forgive me mine indelicacy, my lady. Thou art wise indeed to speak of expunging the primal thralls, but canst thou truly pursue a course which would cost thee thy own grandsire? My heart and mind are as one of this matter. Grandfather's salvation can be won but by a single method, the destruction of Bahamut, and aught that might serve to sustain him. Sophie, while Urianger and I endeavor to ascertain the existence of any further thralls, I suggest you grant yourself a moment's respite. Rest assured that I will contact you the moment I have need of your inimitable... Why do they pick words like that? Talents. Why don't just say, like, awesome talents? My awesome talents. That we have achieved so much, I owe to you. I fear, however, that our trials have barely begun. Though time hath dulled the pain of thy passing, I find that I am wounded afresh. Master Louisoix, what good shall come of this unending search for knowledge and truth? Long have I believed the pursuit of such treasures to be the duty of every true Charlian. Yet, when each new revelation serveth only to heap further anguish upon those whom we would fain protect, must we truly reach for more? So, you have found your resolve, dear sister. Will you now find a use for the secret, for the key that only you and I hold? Given our familial propensity for curiosity, you would do well to remember that keys may serve to seal doors as well as to unlock them, and Bahamut is a most unwelcome guest, to whom the door should never have been opened. Where was he standing? Here? Yeah, I guess he was standing here. That little creeper. He be creeping. What are you doing? He's creeping. Man is wont to cast light wheresoever secrets lie hid in darkness, though that which he illumineth seldom bringeth him joy. So it is with such unhappy truths as Bahamut's immense shadow doth conceal. Yet ever onward forgeth Mistress Alize, undetermined by the burden of knowledge that weigheth heavy on her heart. 'Tis a perilous path she hath chosen, and a painful one. I pray thee, Sophie, remain by her side as her valiant blade, that she might see her quest to its conclusion. Sophie, it is well that you are here. My lady, how might I serve you this day? I have met with some difficulties in my mission, Urianger, and I should be grateful for your counsel. As you know, Bahamut's physical form is regenerating beneath the Cartano Flats even as we speak. If we are to prevent his return, we must needs disable the two remaining internment hulks that sustain him. Every moment our mission is delayed, the realm is pushed closer to the brink of destruction. Alas, though I have determined the locations of the fragments of Dalamud leading to the hulks, I have been unable to find a way to enter them. And gaining admittance is but the first step in your perilous undertaking. When last thou descended into Bahamut's subterranean fastness, thou didst discover, didst thou not, that the dread primal had bound the shade of Nell Van Darnus unto his will. And though thou didst consign the fallen Legatus to blessed oblivion, thou mayest recall that the piteous wretch was not alone. Doubt not but that Bahamut's other thralls shall seek to hinder thy passage. You can say his name, Urianger. I have not forgotten that my grandfather is waiting for us. My lady, I would remind you, as I must oft remind myself, that the man whom we both loved and revered is no more. What remaineth is but a shade which defileth his memory. The vile verbiage that spilleth from his lips must not be heeded, for it cometh not from your grandsire, but from Bahamut himself. You need not worry, Urianger. Come what may, I will not stray from the course. I will not let grandfather's sacrifice be in vain. But mere words will not take us whither we must go. As I said, I have been unable to find a way to enter the fragments of Dalamund. My lady, might I suggest you visit the fragments again in Sophie's company? Full oft hath the warrior of light set events in motion by virtue of her presence alone. 'Tis possible that she may do so again. I, the while, shall search for answers of mine own. By our efforts combined, we will form Captain Planet! By our efforts combined, full sure am I that the path shall be revealed to us ere long. Were it anyone else, I should question the wisdom of such advice. Yet I cannot deny that what you say about Sophie is true. Very well, I shall do as you suggest. Assuming you have no objections, of course. Good. Now, we seek entry to 2 fragments of Dalamund. One lies at the Burning Wall in eastern Thanalan, and the other at the Singing Shards in Mordona. I left an assistant at each location, with instructions to continue searching for a means of ingress. It is not impossible that they could since have found something useful to us. Let us begin by visiting my man at the Burning Wall. Dex, I think it was. Burning Wall. I say, are you not Mistress Scaris, my lady's most faithful companion? Sinus, madam, at your service. And may I say what an honor it is to meet you. How goes the survey, Dex? Ahem, my lady, it shames me to say that I have found no viable path to the fragment. Though it stands there before our very eyes, the way thither has thus far proven impassable. When the fragment fell and pierced the land, it caused a prodigious amount of aether to spew forth. 'Twas this that gave rise to the land's twisted lay, which seems destined to thwart our efforts. Even were an opening to exist, I fear that we would struggle to reach it. We cannot give up. Keep trying. So near and yet so far. Well, it avails us not to stand here and stare at the thing. Let us away to Mordona and try the other fragment. Perhaps Sinus has fared better. She's got the 2 confused, doesn't she? Because he introduced himself as Sinus, right? Upon that note, my lady, there is something I must tell you. I am sorry to report that I lost contact with my brother just over a bell ago. As you know, the Singing Shards are home to many fell creatures, ogres among them. While I do not wish to cause you undue alarm, I fear something unspeakable may have happened to Dex. What? Why didn't you give me strength? We must hurry to my assistant's aid, Sophie. Thank you, adventurer. For a moment there, I feared that my bones would be ground up and used to bake bread. I am relieved to see that you are unharmed. It was wrong of me to press such a dangerous task upon you. My lady, your worries are wasted on me. But it's nothing at all, I assure you. Ahem. If it please you, I shall report on my findings. As you can see, though the tip of the fragment is exposed, the rest is encased in rock and crystal, rendering it impossible to enter the structure. We might try excavating the area around the fragment, but that is like to take time, and there really is no telling how deep we may need to dig before we find a suitable point of ingress. As such, I am forced to conclude that gaining entry to this fragment is unrealistic. Forgive me, my lady. Confound it. We are losing precious time. What are we to do now? 'Tis I, Urianger. Glad tidings have I for thee and my lady. For a blessing, a way hath been found by which thou mayest enter the remaining fragments of Dalabun. Pray escort Mistress Alizae to the Corellium processing plant in northern Thanalan. There all shall be made clear. Urianger has found a way? Urianger has found a way. Urianger has found a way. Then we must go to him at once, because Urianger has found a way. Yeah! Mine apologies for summoning you thus from afar, my lady, but 'tis here that your journey may finally begin. I did wonder. To my knowledge, there are no fragments in northern Thanalan. Nor are you mistaken, my lady. Yet a pathway doth exist, one which you yourself have made use of in the past. At the conclusion of your several forays into the binding coil, 'twas at the crystal formation which lieth to the north of this place that you did emerge, was it not? Yes, an ethereal stream bore us back to the surface. That much I had surmised. Are you suggesting that we can use it to return underground? And even if that were possible, would it not simply bear us back to those places which we have already explored? It need not, my lady. Pray, allow me to explain. Upon the evidence of your experience, it seemeth plain that the two internment hulks may share the selfsame ethereal egress. From this we did infer that others may be connected in like wise. Thus did we labor long to verify the existence of further tributaries to the selfsame stream, in which task we were at length successful. 'Twas then but a matter of arriving at a solution to the problem of traveling to an unattuned destination. That one might reach what we may call the headwater. We propose to employ a modified aetherite which serveth to amplify such ripples as do originate from said source. By focusing one's essence upon these ripples, it should be possible to make the journey. Yet be fairly warned, my lady, as with all untried modes of ethereal travel, this method entaileth considerable danger. Merely to attempt the voyage could cost you your life. That is the risk I am willing to take. You are brilliant, Urianger. But I am curious, did you have assistance in forming this plan? I could not help notice your repeated use of the word we, unless you have taken to using the majestic plural in our absence. Nay, my lady. As you have correctly surmised, I was not alone in this endeavor. Meaning there are others who are aware of our mission? Well, it cannot be helped now. Preventing Bahamut's return is what matters. If some secrecy must be sacrificed to achieve our goal, then so be it.
To fix this.